Myths tell in the language of snakes and goddesses the stories of our everyday lives. There's a Norwegian fairy tale that I return to every year. This is a good time of year for it. A Norwegian fairy tale where the hero comes to a crossroads where three roads meet in this gray and desolate plain with no landmarks, no signifiers. And standing at the center of these crossroads, our hero turns around and around, trying to see which way to go until he's forgotten which path he got there by. But each path is labeled, this being a fairy tale, with a description of what will happen to you if you travel down that road. And one is marked, he who travels down this road will return to this place unharmed. And one is marked, he who travels down this road may or may not return. And the third way is marked, he who travels here will never return. And so, of course, our hero chooses the third path. He who travels down this road will never return to this place. How else would he discover the outcome of the journey unless it led to a place and a person that he hadn't yet been? In myth, the crossroad is the in-between place where any direction is possible. It's the moment where you are unavoidably confronted with the reality that you are in the in-between. And sometimes that is a beautiful, generative place of possibilities. And sometimes that is an overwhelming, baffling place. I don't know what your crossroads is as this new year begins. In work, in health, in family, in age and life stage, in parenting, in relationship. And I also don't have the one solution to tell you which way to go. That's not really how this congregation works. What we have instead together is 1,000 stories from 100 generations of people who paused in their own crossroads, who discovered, sometimes to their surprise or horror or delight, that they did not know which way to go, and spun around until they weren't sure which way they'd even come from, and then made their choice. The travel writer Rick Steves talks about 3 different ways to take a voyage. He says, you can make a journey as a tourist or a traveler or a pilgrim. He says, most travelers I know, they're proud to be known as the traveler as opposed to the tourist. I'm more thoughtful. I'm not just here to shop and get a selfie. I'm here to immerse myself in the culture, to learn. He says, that's a traveler, to become a temporary local. But I think a pilgrim learns about themselves. And you learn about yourself by leaving your home and looking at it from a distance. That's what it is, I think, to be a part of this community, to be a part of any church pilgrim community. When you make a journey with the intention of you yourself being transformed by that journey. So come in. Come into this crossroads place. Come in to this house where you can be who you are and who you're called into becoming. Come in and take the path whose promise, which sometimes feels like a threat, is transformation. Where gods and monsters and heroes are all just us, ordinary life becoming.